Hello, my ginger loves. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone has been manifesting. I hope that you used full advantage of the full moon that just passed to be able to release what no longer was serving you and to, just use this beautiful, beautiful Pisces energy to harness and cultivate your intuition. I know it has been a very long while since I have been on, and I'm going to make a video about what's been going on. But yeah, today I want to discuss something that has been coming up quite a bit in conversation that I've had with friends, acquaintances, people in passing, in the store, things like that. And also that I've been seeing online. Um, in case you don't know, my brand, Gingerly Yours, Teas Cafe, which is my another new facet of my brand that I have, is about healing, holistic healing. My teas were created because I was suffering physically from endometriosis and uterine fibroids, and so I wanted to find a way to relinquish myself of my coffee addiction, or at least tone it down a little bit, and also just create something that's still tasty for me to drink in replacement. And so, I created my tea brand, and then that expanded to me doing baths and scrubs. And, I'm all about herbs and doing things that are on the other side of modern medicine. I'm really a big believer in natural remedies. God gave us all these plants on this here planet, and we should use them because there is a cure for everything all around us. And so, spirituality is a part of our healing process. I truly believe that you have to believe in something in order to truly wholly embrace your journey of life. We have to have something that we hold near and dear to us, something that we understand helps us to navigate through this ghetto ass earth school that we are on. And so, over the last couple of months, I've been speaking to, a lot of people about spirituality and things that we've learned and things that we've had to kind of research and go throughout our healing journey and process. And the one thing that is constant that comes up is spirituality hustling, spirituality hustlers. When the pandemonium first hit and everybody except essential people were stuck inside because of the lockdown, I made a video about the pandemic being God's way of forcing people to sit down and embrace their gifts, embrace who they really are. There was a very great awakening that was taking place throughout the earth, and if you was tapped in, tuned in, you could feel it and you took advantage of it. If you was still a little sleepy, or you was taking a whole sleep instead of a nap, Maybe it didn't hit home for you as much as it probably should have. But we all have our time when it's time to wake up. So, the spirituality hustling and hustlers, um, it seems like spirituality has now become a thing. People are embracing spirituality, people are embracing getting out of the construct and the constraints of religion, and they're starting to embrace a more broader aspect. And if you are a Christian, a former Christian, you know anything about Christianity, we are called to be spiritual according to the Bible, um, and not religious. However, that has somehow gotten turned around with all the politics and, money, things like that. So I wanted to kind of just address my feelings and the three types of spirituality, hustlers or hustling, that I have encountered most, and that seems to be the topic of conversation when I speak about this with people. These are the three types of spirituality hustling. And if you don't know what a spirituality hustler or a spirituality hustling is, it's when someone is using or promoting spirituality to be able to receive profit or gain something personally, notoriety, a come up, recognition, in some kind of way, making themselves seem grand. There's some kind of ulterior motive behind their product or their service, and it's not really what it's designed to truly be, which is to help awaken, to help raise the consciousness, to help people to realize purpose and what they're here for and what they came to do on their mission. So, one of the things, and I am reading my notes so I wouldn't forget. One of the things that is constantly coming up are the people who don't want to share their information with you unless they're getting something in return. Um, they tend to do that because it helps them to maintain a sense of control. It helps them to be able to make sure that they're able to stay in your energy, keep you coming back for more, making them feel like they are, some kind of guru, or they have access to information that you don't have access to. And so they kind of hold back a little bit, so that they kind of keep you thirsty for wanting to just seek them out. And with anything, you should always do your own research. You should always check into anything anyone tells you. It doesn't matter how versed the person is in whatever the topic is. You have to go out and seek your own knowledge. You can't just rely on people's words, to give you security or to make you feel confident in what you know, because in life, knowledge is definitely power, but you have to continue to seek knowledge. You can't know everything. That's not even possible for everyone to know everything about everything. It's just not a thing. People think it's a thing, but it's not a thing. If anyone comes off as being too knowledgeable, as in they just treat it like they are the know all and the beginning and the end, they have everything you need to know about something, you need to question that, because that's a person that low key, high key, they're kind of afraid that if you know more than them, you might surpass them. And sometimes people want you to do better, just not better than them. Always keep that in mind also. Another type of person that seems to come up is and this is a very large one, and it does not just happen in spirituality, it happens in religion as well. But those who are only interested in making money, right? They have overpriced products, they have overpriced services. Am I saying that people should not charge what they're worth? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is sometimes they will use people's lack of knowledge as a way to uh, take advantage of your lack of knowledge, your willingness to be able to receive whatever it is that you want. I'm finding that this seems to be a thing within like the tarot community. That's been a thing, that people are charging a lot of money, for readings and things like that. And I'm not saying that people should not charge for their readings, because that's a lot of energy that's being exerted to be able to assist someone with giving them insight into what it is that they would like to know. However, sometimes people are doing it just to get money rather than be a help to the person that's seeking information about whatever it is that they're asking for, even when it comes to products, ritual baths, herbs, any kind of product, candles, dressed or not, things like that, because they know that there are times in our life where we are very vulnerable, and we come to a place where desperation can sometimes set in when we're trying to know something or get something to help ourselves because we're tired of being stuck. And so sometimes people are willing to pay anything, do anything, whatever, just to get some relief. And some people, are taking advantage of that. Also, people that don't um, give you information about the products or services that they provide. When you're asking questions, they dodging your question. They're kind of talking around it, and not really giving you straight answers. Or in some cases, when they don't know the answer, rather than saying that to you and giving you direction on where you can go to receive the answer, they make up some old stuff to tell you because they know you don't know any better. Um, and this is a big one for me because personal story. So, over a decade ago, I was in a financial bind, and I was trying to find a way to help myself, so that working multiple jobs, things like that, and the finances was still not in a good place. And so a lady that I worked with, she was a witch, a white witch, and she suggested that I do, sorry, airplane. She suggested that I do a ritual, a candle ritual, to help myself. And so, she told me this store to go to be able to, purchase the things that I need. And she told me the lady who owned it, just ask her to point me in the direction. Well, a person who used to be a friend of mine at the time was having the same kind of difficulty, so we went together. We get to the store. The feeling was very earthy. It smelled very nice in there. um, and the energy was not off, but it was definitely a store energy, if you get what I'm saying. So I went, I talked to the lady, I told her what it was that I was trying to do. She told me, buy a green candle, you know, um, write down what it is you're trying to manifest, say a prayer, put the piece of paper under the candle, burn the candle, you're fine. Well, what she neglected to tell me was when you are doing any kind of ritual, when you are doing any kind of spell work, when you are doing anything where you are calling something into yourself, or when you are trying to reverse something, say you're doing a return to sender ritual or spell, the one thing that's going to make a difference about how your life is affected by what you're doing is the energy and the frequency that you are in. The lady ain't tell me that because I was in a lack frequency, doing the freaking ritual would bring me more lack. She ain't tell me that part. So, because I wasn't given the knowledge that I needed to be given in order to get myself in the proper vibration, in the proper energy, in the proper mindset to be able to make what I was doing effective, my intention was yes, I wanted to bring in prosperity, bring in abundance, bring more, more money to myself. However, because my mind and my energy was in a lack state and I wasn't in a place where I was ready to receive it, I was doing this ritual under a desperation energy. All it did was have the law of attraction work in the best way. It repelled everything that was coming to me away from me. I lost my job, lost my place. All kinds of things started happening because I was not in the right frequency. So you have to make sure that when you're talking with these spiritualists, people who own metaphysical stores, these these stores where they sell herbs, where they teach you how to do things, they have candles, whatever, botanicas, whatever. Make sure that you're asking questions. Make sure that you're finding out how you need to be feeling when you do this work. Because not in the right frequency, you're going to draw the opposite to you. Personal experience. And it took a very long time to recover from that because the lack just kept coming. And I couldn't understand why. And it was years later before I really started to understand energy and frequency, and it dawned on me why it didn't work. So that's just an example of why, you need to be very careful about the person's intentions. Not saying that they have an intention for you to do bad or for you to fail or whatever. I'm not saying that. Some of them do. They don't have a good spirit. Your discernment is very important also. What I'm saying is, if you have the feeling that someone's shop, someone's store, someone's whatever is so for the sole purpose of monetary gain and not really to be a contributor in the spiritual community, and they're not really interested in helping people to heal and to learn about frequency and things like that, energy, I wouldn't fuck with it. That's just me. But you can do what you want because it's not my business to tell grown people what to do. Just information, okay? And the last type of energy or person are those who aren't an example of what they are doing. These are people that they don't really participate with anything within the spiritual community. You don't see them collaborating with anyone ever. They're never interested in, doing anything that's going to help, raise the consciousness or help, the community. They're not interested in, even speaking with people to come and kind of give, some of their energy, whether it's something they're paid for as a vendor, a speaker, or whatever, or something that they can volunteer for. People that don't have an interest in contributing to the community, definitely a red flag, because that's generally a person that they're not walking in their truth, and they're afraid of being exposed. They don't want you to find out that all these things they're promoting, all these things they're putting out there, are things that they're not really living. They're not really doing what it is that they say they're all about. And so, in order to not be exposed, in order for people not to find out, they have to stay in hermit mode, right? They have to stay in isolation. And I'm not saying your circle shouldn't be small, because it definitely should. What I'm saying is, they don't tend to surround themselves with people who vibrate high. They tend to surround themselves with people who vibrate on a lower frequency, because those people are less likely to question their motives, to question what they do, or to point out to them that, some just ain't right. Like, those people are people that you should definitely be leery of. People that use their status in the spiritual community to be abusive in any kind of way, physically, emotionally, mentally, that have that narcissistic aspect to them. People that, they know that they are well known, they know that they're well respected, even if it's not worldwide, even if they're not famous to you, they may be famous in their city, and those people are still dangerous. Those are people that, they will go to great lengths to hide their secrets. They will use all kinds of manipulation to be able to take advantage. I know that there have been a lot of posts about some of the things going on in Atlanta within the spiritual community. There are people who are using psychedelic healing natural remedies to be able to take advantage of women. There's a lot of sexual manipulation and abuse going on while people are not in their right state of mind. And spirit is handling that. Everyone will be answering for what's going on. I told y'all we in the year of 7. This is the year of spirituality. This is the year where people are being exposed, where if you're not who you say you are, everybody gonna find out. It's gonna come out in the open because you didn't do the work you needed to do. But anyway, stay on task. Getting away. Anyway, those are people that you want to stay away from also. And also, you also want to be careful of people who only allow people who are on their level in their space. Um, we all have spiritual discernment. Everyone. God gave it to everybody for free. You don't even got to pay for it. It's something you have to activate, but we all have it, right? So we all vibrate at different frequencies at different times, right? Everyone, depending on where you are in life, where you are in your journey, what you're going through, you're going to experience different feelings, different ways of being. And sometimes you high, and sometimes you low, and sometimes you just in the middle. Um, but it's very important that when we see someone is trying to learn, someone is trying to really do the work, to either become a spiritualist or to be able to get the healing knowledge that they need, or just seeking out assistance on how they can go about that process. It's very important that they be embraced in love and in peace, because at some point in time, we're all either there or we're going to be there. The blessings that are given to us because we are blessed to be a blessing. We're not given these blessings to keep it to ourselves, to hoard it, to hold on to it tight and never let anybody know what we know, or to help people on their journey. We go through similar experiences in life in different ways, because you're supposed to tell your story. You're supposed to help people so that when they start going through the place that you've already been, you can help them. People that refuse to allow themselves to be around people that really truly want to be better, those are people you should be careful of. Use your discernment, absolutely. If somebody energy ain't right, their frequency ain't right, they feel like a leech, they feel like somebody who just takes and they don't give, stay away from them. I understand that. You have to be careful who you let in your energy, who you let in your space. As soon as you get the feeling somebody is a vampire, it's because they are. Cut them off. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is when someone comes around you, you can feel that angelic light, you can feel that genuine intention from them, and you know that they are truly someone who is seeking betterment, who wants to be higher, who wants to be better. Not that they're coming in to use you for your stature, but that they're coming into your life because you're supposed to help them in some kind of way. Do so. If you are a person that you only want to be around people who people already know, that means you're not interested in growth. That's my personal opinion. We have to continue growing. We are never fully healed. We don't always know everything. And there's always someone who can come into our life to teach us something, even someone who doesn't know as much as us. Sometimes they're in your life to teach you what you don't know. Okay? Anyway, I just wanted to come on, talk about that. That's just something that's been coming up in a lot of conversations that I've been having. Another story real fast. Went to the spiritual store to go get me some candles, a couple of crystals, stuff like that. And this lady is in there. She's looking around and, I'm like, sis look like she needs some help. But I don't work there, so I'm gonna let the people who work there do their job. So she's telling them about what's going on in her life, and the lady is trying to get her to purchase this certain color candle. And she already had a couple of candles white in her hand, and she was like, no, I think I'm not going to. Long story short, we check out, we go outside. Well, I go into the parking lot and I'm telling her, I'm like, hey sis, come here. I was like, I was kind of ear hustling, so I heard, what's going on with you. And she was like, yeah, the lady was trying to get me to get a red candle, she said, and I just didn't feel right about that. Now, sis is new to spirituality. She don't really know nothing about it. She's kind of getting away from Christian lifestyle, and she's trying to embrace this feeling that she has because she has, some negative things going on in her life. And I told her, I said, you have to be careful with candle magic because if you're not in the right frequency, it's going to reverse. It's not going to do you any good, and it's not going to help, and it's just going to bring more of what you don't want. So she was telling me, that she was given, we got to talking, and she's telling me she's giving a ride to this girl like some weeks back, and the girl is telling her that she need to go to the store and buy a candle because she trying to do this spell on some guy that she tried to bind to her. And I said, so does she know the repercussions of what can happen when you bind someone to you? And she said, I don't know. I didn't ask her all that. I took her where she needed to go. She got what she needed. She said, but she can't get in my car no more. She said, and I saged my car. I saged everything. The point is, be careful. Be careful in these spiritual streets. You can't just be out here doing any old and everything because you feel like you spiritual, you are a new path, you dipping and dabbling into things. You know what you're doing. Be careful. Conversation like this is happening amongst people who are new on the journey and who have been on the journey for quite a while, because the purpose is to help one another, is to teach one another, is to show one another where you don't want to make certain mistakes so that you're not impacting your life in a negative way. We must do better. The veil is gone and it's wide open at this point. Spiritual warfare is going on, and if you do not feel it, you need to do something about your spirit, because you should be able to feel what's happening out of the ethers. We need to call, unity and love to ourselves. We need to be loving. We need to express gratitude to God, Source, the universe, your angels, your ancestors, however you call them, whatever you believe in. Be thankful, be grateful, and ask them to continue to protect and surround you, because it's a lot of things going on out here. People do not have good intentions. People are doing things because they're trying to gain something. They've made deals with demons and devils, and you have to be careful of those energies. Those are the things that you want to be able to have a high vibration within yourself for, so that when those kinds of energies come near to you, you're able to repel them as quickly as possible. It is very important that you raise your frequency, that you learn what you need to learn, do your own research, and don't be afraid of spirituality. There was something before Jesus. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? Um, I don't think that people who charge for their services or their products, nothing wrong with that. Can't get things for free. Just not the way it goes. God gives you gifts, but he also, makes you love what you do and get paid for it too. So there's no reason that you shouldn't be paid for your services and your products. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that we have to be leery of people's intentions, people's energy. Read the room. Know where you are. Understand that energy, that frequency is everything. If you walk into a place and it don't feel right, you can leave. That's why the door go both ways. You don't have to stay. Okay? And um, I just want us to, embrace the journey. That is a lesson that is very difficult, and we have to be, careful of spirituality hustlers, spirituality hustling, people using it in a way that is harmful to the collective. Just a little side note, if you're in the tarot, you may notice that in the comments, people, or in your DM on Instagram, whatever, people may try to solicit you for a reading. The one thing I'm going to tell you, a real reader, a person who is truly into